the World Health Organization has raised the level for what I shall call the Mexican flu, or what they call the influenza virus, because they can't call it the swine flu anymore, to level 5, and it will probably go to level 6. And as I understand it, that basically means it's endemic. It's not it is a pandemic because it's spreading, but it's endemic in the sense that there's no way to stop it from eventually becoming a common disease in the population. Of course, it may change, because viruses, when they are transmitted and are in the body, in the cells, they mutate, and they can change from benign to dangerous, and from dangerous to benign. And I believe that the danger with the Mexican flu is that it can take hold in the lungs, in the lower area of the lungs, and which is very dangerous. And of course also that we do not really have a response to it, an immune response. And our primary response always is fever, to heat our body up, and if it's not working, then we'll heat up our body some more. But fever mainly works against bacteria, against infections that are alive, because they cannot, they have a very definite temperature range in which they can survive. But viruses are not alive in that sense. They're not. They're basically little bags of DNA that have all the structures necessary to infect a cell, and then use the cell to reproduce itself, and then get out again and go on infecting other cells. And you cannot really kill a virus with a fever, and you cannot really kill a virus with antibiotics, for instance. That doesn't work. Anyway, but that means that it's spreading, and it's in the world, and it will get to your door at some time or another, in some form or another. So maybe it will turn in a regular flu and you won't notice. It might just become a flu that makes you sick very quickly, and then you recover. Making you sick very quickly because it's new, so your body response is very extreme. But then you recover and there's no problem. And that's what seems to be happening for most people, at least. And then the spread is just dependent on how connected people are. And I read this story about one of the aides of Obama that actually got the virus when he was assisting him in his travel in Mexico earlier this year. And he visited his brother, and he infected his nephew, and he infected his wife and his 2 children. Of course not willfully, but just the way that this disease transmits. So it's not difficult for it to transmit, and I cannot imagine that he flew on a plane sitting next to very close to other people, and he would infect them less likely than his nephew, for instance. Because what do you do with your nephew? You shake his hand, and maybe you give him a hug, but that's it. So you don't have to be that close to transmit disease. Maybe you just sneeze and that's enough. And that's worrisome, of course, because, well, it spreads, and then I guess the rural areas are the most, the last ones to get the virus, and the slowing down of the virus is definitely a good idea, according to the people that make the vaccines, because they say the longer it takes the longer it takes for it to spread, the more time you have to make a vaccine, and so then you can protect the people that are the last to get infected. But on the other hand, of course, it's a flu vaccine, and because flu is so messy and so easily mutates, we know that the flu vaccines can help you, can protect you against the existing flu strains, but can never completely protect you against flu, because flu is changing and the vaccine is not ready for the new varieties of flu. Usually, maybe they'll find a marker on these flu cells that is so, or flu virus cells that is so common that you can develop immunity against all flu strains, and that would be very nice. So it's here to stay, and it's not no longer. It's a tsunami, but it won't be stopped, and everybody will probably get the Mexican flu at one time or another, and let's hope that it's then a more benign form than we see now.